Like I said, I don't know nothing about fiberglass, but one of the guys said if you drill little divots in the fiberglass, not go all the way through, but just little holes, and then when you put your goo on there and your mesh, and then goo it again, it kind of pushes down in them holes. And of course, obviously you do layers. Uh, that kind of acts as, if you know anything about concrete, like rebar and concrete, it kind of makes it stronger, a better hold. Uh, the problem is I'm missing pieces up here. This is pretty much how it sits, and I'm sure you can see that gap right there. Uh, so I got to do some work on that. Uh, I'll show you the other side of it. This is the other side of it. As you can see, the crack line here, and then this is where it starts missing chunks out of it. Uh, like I said, I never worked fiberglass before, haven't a clue, and nobody told me when you start grinding on this crap, it gets hot. I'm doing it in shorts, no gloves. Of course, I had the fan on, I had some ventilation going, but that shit gets hot when you grind on it. And two, y'all wear a respirator, because that dust was killing me. And I was in a well ventilated area when I was doing this. Uh, right there in that bag is my fiberglass shit. I forgot gloves. So, because I was told, make sure you wear gloves, because supposedly that resin stuff will burn your skin, if it sits on there too long or something, I don't know. So I forgot gloves, so that's the reason why I haven't worked on this thing yet. These rims I picked up really dirt cheap off a buddy of mine, Jimmy, uh, is what I'm going to run. They're 15-inch rims, but they're 14 inches wide, and that's going to complement the 15.5-inch wide tires that I'm getting. These tires were already on this rim, and I grabbed the worst out of the 4 rims and cleaned them up. And what I've done is cleaned all this up inside here, and they come up pretty damn good. But right here in this ringed area, it was pitted pretty good. I mean, it come clean, but it was pitted pretty good. And this is the worst rim. So I decided, well, what am I going to do about this? I said, well, I can paint it. So I started with masking tape, and I just worked my way around this, all the way around. And let me tell you what, that's a pain in the ass to do that. Let me find what I was using here. Get this out of this bag, and bear with me here, I'm one-handed. Someday I will get me a little tripod for this camera, because I'm sure I'm all over the place. Give me one second. I got me a ruler here. It's a 3-way ruler. What I did is I laid this down flat, and I measured it. Well, let's see, here it is. I measured this at this mark, and this worked all the way around the rim, piece by piece by piece, just like that. And with masking tape, because you can't just run a whole ring of masking tape, it don't work. So you got to do piece by piece by piece. And then after I did that, then I had to line it with some newspaper and some more masking tape, and holy crap, that was a pain in the ass. And I'm thinking, boy, I wished I had some pinstriping, because pinstriping you can move, wave, and everything else, and then you can actually line your masking tape on the top edge of your pinstriping. And that's not it. Here it is. And I'm sitting there cussing myself, thinking, man, I wish I had some pinstriping. What's that? Pinstriping. I forgot I bought that. Excuse me. I forgot I bought that, because when I had my gold wing, I used that to line my windshield, to cut my windshield down on the gold wing, to get it that perfect round look, instead of this kind of winging it. And So instead of winging it, I use that pinstripe. And I forgot that I had bought that. I could have done that on the rim. Well, lo and behold, I got 3 other rims. I haven't done them yet. They're still sitting there with rust on them. And what I use to clean it up, and y'all might laugh at me, or you may already even know, Coca-Cola and a real fine steel wool I got some cheap shit from Walmart. It's super fine steel wool. I think I paid 75 cents for this bag of 12 pads. And Coca-Cola. And I just poured that Coca-Cola on there and the steel wool and just start going to town. The steel wool does not scratch the foam or the chrome because it's really super fine, and the Coca-Cola with the acids and any other junk that's in that bottle eats away at that shit and cleans it. And then after I did that, I polished it, and I didn't use a chrome polish. I actually just used Meguiar's paint cleaner polish. It's kind of like paint cleaner and polish together in one bottle for them touch-ups or whatever. Because that's the only thing I actually had on hand. I used to keep a whole slew of that crap, but since I kind of got into the flat paints and the off-road vehicles and all that crap, I just pretty much stopped carrying it because there's no sense of keeping a showroom paint job on the vehicles that I get now. So I use that to clean everything up, final cleaning, and then that's when I taped everything. Personally, I think it looks really good with that ring to match the paint of the Jeep. As a matter of fact, what I might do here is roll this right up here to the back tire here, so you can kind of get the gist of it, sort of, if that'll stay. And you'll get the gist of it with that ring and the chrome, and the ring matches the Jeep. I think it looked good with the new tires and everything on there. And I don't know if I'm going to go with metal stems or if I'm just going to go with these rubber stems with a chrome cap and ring on it, like what's on here. Yeah, I did paint on that a little bit. I don't care because that's coming out when I get new tires put on. I'll have new valve stems, but I don't know if I want to go with metal or if I want to go with them valve stems. My agenda here with this project was a mud hopper. That's all it was going to be, just a mud hopper. And I said I wasn't going to drive it much on pavement. That's why I was going to go with them boggers. And when I drove it to work for that 5 miles, I'm like, screw this. I'm going to drive this thing more on the road than what I realized. So I found me another set of tires I want. They're 38 1550 15s. NATO Graveler Extremes. And I found out my neighbor across the street, the one that does the fiberglass, he's running them on his truck, and he's had them on there for 4 years and still got decent looking tread on there. And he runs this truck as a daily driver. So that being said, that says a lot. He's on pavement all the time. He don't ever take that truck off road. Now that truck is what you call a show truck. I don't even think it sees a dirt road. But it's all pavement, and them tires still look good on that truck, and he's had them on there for about 4 years. So that right there sold me. And then I was talking to another buddy of mine, a friend of his has ran them on his truck. And he said when he bought the truck, them tires are already on there, and then he ran them for like 3 more years after that, and he wore them down to the nylon showing. things were still gripping and still holding there. Of course, he did get rid of the tires because the nylon was shown, but you know, he was banking his money as he was driving the truck. And as far as he knows, he was running them for about 6 years, you know, from the previous owner and plus what his buddy put on there. So that says a lot. And that was, I don't think that ever really seen off road either. So the off road part, I will tell, but I'm not going to do rock climbing or nothing like that. There's a guy on YouTube that I've been following here lately, and the channel is I Am Jake. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. Check him out. Really cool dude. Kind of inspired me a little bit to go back to my camping roots. Now, I'll give you the gist of it. He's in the Guard, so he's got to go back every time, but he's traveling 50 states in his Jeep, living out of his Jeep. And I've only got to a certain point. I haven't watched them all, and because I started watching a couple of the newer ones, and I got kind of hooked. So I decided I'm gonna watch this guy from the very beginning and all the way through. And he's still posting them to this day. I don't know what state he is in right now, but where I'm at, you know, he's visiting his family and all that good shit in Wisconsin. But he kind of inspired me a little bit to go back to my camping roots. Back when I was younger, I used to do a shitload of camping and everything, and I come up with an idea of making me a homemade little pop-up camper with a tent. And underneath the tent is going to be storage. If you can get on homemade pop-ups, I think is how I did it, you'll see a few guys had actually made some. So I decided, hell yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make something to go along with my Jeep. I don't think I'll put it on 38-inch tires, but I will probably put it on 35s. Matter of fact, these are 35s here, I think. I'm not sure. But I'm going to put it on a set of 35-inch tires, get it up off the air, paint it, match it up with the Jeep, all that good shit. I was actually at Wally World today. Being tomorrow's Father's Day, you know, I really ain't doing shit, kind of playing the lazy card. Although I did go out and buy me a bunch of food and to grill out for Father's Day. But I was at Walmart killing some time to meet up with my daughter, and I was looking at tents there, and I'm thinking, man, these tents got kind of high. And I was like, man, you know, and this dude walked up to me. He says, hey, man, he said, I don't mean to get in your business or anything. He said, but I know you're looking at these tents. My uncle passed away, and I wound up with all this camping gear and a slew of tents and all kinds of other stuff I don't need. You want to come by, take a look? I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, give me a minute and, you know, finish up here, and I'll give you a call. He gave me his number, and I went over to the guy's house. Super nice guy. He's a truck driver just like I am. So that kind of hit it off a little bit right there, you know, that I like this guy a little bit more because he does the same thing I do for a living. And he's got a young family. My family's old. My daughter's, she'll be 21 in August. I had to think there for a minute. She's in college. She's growed up, you know. So my family's growed. So I want to go back to my roots and doing the whole camping fishing thing. I loved it. I enjoyed it when I was younger. And hopefully I'll do some videos of it and do some trail riding. I don't know what y'all are into, but there's a place here where I live at. It's got a whole crap load of graveyards. And I like looking at graveyards. What I like to do is I look and see how the oldest one I can find. And when I say graveyards, we're not talking about one that's fenced in, manicured. These yards are growed up. They're on government property now, but they're all you know, a lot of them are growed up. Some of them has been slightly maintained by the TVA or whoever it does it. And the oldest one I've came across so far is the 1500s. You think about that, the 1500s, you know. And I'm thinking, was this state even established in the 1500s? Or were these people just passing by, you know, traveling by, you know, through this ground? You know, so I hated history when I was younger, but as I get older, I look at the place I live at and I see the history in it, and I'm thinking, you know, this is cool. You know, and I travel around. I drive 5 states, sometimes six. Matter of fact, this coming week I'll be doing my sixth state, which is North Carolina. I'll be doing a trip to North Carolina. But you know, I look at these towns. Kentucky's got a lot of old towns. Um, and I look at them and I'm like, you know, this is pretty cool, the history of it. Let me get back to what I was saying. I came across all this stuff. It's a Coleman Camper Grill. He thinks it all works. He's not 100% sure because it came from his uncle's. He didn't hook it up or nothing like that. And obviously it needs to be cleaned. That's a given. And, you know, what do you expect? It's used. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've opened this up. He briefly opened it up. There's my attachment for my bottle, my little propane bottle. But he thinks it all works because his uncle did a lot of camping. You know, he did a lot of camping and fishing, and that's what I want to do now. And, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I can't go out there to these clubs and be like these people. You know, of course, I never really liked it anyway. I always liked the outdoors. And needless to say, I picked that up, close this back up. I picked that up, and then he gave me this here, if I can get it to stand up. While holding that there, if I can get this to stand up. And I picked this up, which is for over a campfire. It's a little grill that actually literally goes over a little campfire. And I thought, hey, yeah, that's pretty cool. I can use that, you know. And the nice thing is, I've got 2 stoves now. Well, 2 eyes and a grill. And look how compact that is. I've got another one inside the garage. When my dad passed away, I picked it up from him. It's thinner than this one. I think it's a newer model. And it's brand new. It's never been used. Hold on for a second. Let me get this tote out. Now, he gave me this. He popped the lid on it, said it's all kinds of camping dishes in here. I haven't even went through this yet. This is what he showed me. I said, okay, I'll take it. So we're actually going to go through this together. Aluminum plate, pan. So much for the desired inside there, but you know, hopefully the handle's for that. Got the handle for that. Oh, look, there's the handle. Little stainless aluminum. No, that's stainless. Little stainless cup, little coffee cup. Tongs. Now, them things look brand new, but they look really cheap. You know, what do you expect? Dollar store shit. Look, there's a hat. Cellular company. Yeah, I won't ever wear that. Hell, the thing looks like it's brand new. Here's a, damn, that's a heavy pot right there. There's for the handle. And that don't look like it's ever been used either. That's a heavy pot. That's a good bean pot or soup pot. Here's another one. That looks like it's got a little bit of scratches in the bottom, but barely looks like it's been used. And that's good and heavy. I'm all right with that. And that right there is a big old stew pot there. Some more plates. Looks like 3 of them. So there's a set of 4 plates, which is cool. Coffee pot. Looks like it's been used a shitload of times. And it looks like it's just for water though, because I don't see the insert for the coffee. So it was probably just to heat up water, and that looks like it's been used a shitload of times. But that's cool. That'll work. The best part is, turn this camera right. The best part is, wait until I tell you how much I pay for all this stuff, and I ain't even done showing you everything. Wow, I've never seen nothing like that before. I guess you stick your 2 fingers in there and your thumb in that one. The grip stuff, I don't know. My fingers don't fit in there, but that's different. Something. Looks like a tablecloth. Another tablecloth. Final tablecloth. Wow. There's the lid to that little pot. And I imagine this lid here will interchange with that one. So that's cool. Here's another lid. I don't think we'll be using that because I ain't got a pot for that. Here's another lid. Well, that fits on there loosely, but I guess it'll fit on this one too. Yeah, they do loosely, but they fit. I kind of like that one better. Look, here's a cup rack. Got your cups go down in there. That's cool. Looks like one's missing. Maybe it's in there. Yep, sure is. Look at there. Got the whole complete set. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Got to remember, I'm excited. This is the first time I went through this container. So this is all new to me as well as y'all. Plastic cup. Looks like a strainer maybe for one or the other. And I haven't a clue, but I don't know. Not sure on that. And then it looks like these are cups of some sort. They don't look like measuring cups because they all look the same size, and it looks like a handle slips up in there. So I'm not sure on that. Here's another one. You know, like I said, I'm not sure on that. Here's another one. Some more cups, some knives. But you got a threaded end on that, so I'm not sure on that either. Oh, there's a pump for a lantern. Big mouth funnel. I don't know why. Label. What does this do, Hickey? Is this what I think it is? Is that for tacos? Or maybe put some bread in there too and then lightly toast it so you have bread for a shape as a taco. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, I have no idea on that one other than hot dogs lay inside there. And then you can sit on top of your flame. I don't know. I haven't a clue. All this is new to me. Let me put this back in, and I'm gonna finish showing you what else I got. I'm super excited. I'm like a little kid in a candy store with this kind of stuff. When you find good treasures like this, you know, the guy didn't need it. He don't do this kind of stuff, and he knew what I was doing. So I told him my game plan. I showed him pictures of my Jeep. Showed him a couple of pictures I pulled off the internet to get ideas and how I'm going to build this camper trailer or a pop-up trailer, whatever you want to call it. And he's like, dude, I got the perfect stuff for you. And with that being said, I went over to his house and he showed me all this stuff, and I got it. For some odd reason, this stuff is not going to fit in here. I guess we'll put the hat back in there. And the lid's not going to shut. Story of my life. So, let me open up the old box here. I got a lantern. This is the one with the glass in it. And you fill it with the fuel. The Tacoma fuel. So I'll have to think about the fuel, but that's the one with the glass. I got the tent, or a tent, and we laid out this tent. I said, we ain't got to prop it up or anything like that. Just lay it out so I could see the dimensions of it. And when he laid it out, I'm looking at it, and he's looking at it. He says, that's the same identical tent that in one of them pictures that I showed him for the ideas of what I wanted to build. And I'm like, that's the one I kind of wanted to build, something similar to that. And he says, well, here's the tent. So it was identically the same tent as one of the pictures that I wanted to build. And I thought, man, that is pretty cool. So got the tent, and let me go over here to the other side. It's my prop here, PVC pipe to keep the lid from coming down, because I'm too cheap to buy me a new damn shock for that toolbox. I don't use it much, but when I do, I do. 2 brand new bottles of propane for the stove, and of course the water, I got that from Wally World. I have to bring that in the house anyway, so I might as well throw it back here. But got all this stuff: the grill, the fire pit grill, the 2 bottles, the tent with a couple awnings, a couple extra poles, and then there's also a mat in there too, base mat. I believe it was in that one, because he showed me a couple of them. Which they call that a 6-man tent. Usually when they say 6-man tent, it's more like a 4-man tent, which is plenty for me. The lantern, which that's one of the higher dollar Coleman lanterns. This tote full of stuff, that's a money saver right there, just getting that stuff. Guy says, how about $35? I didn't have $35 on me, so I gave him $40. I said, here's $40. So he proceeds to tell me, he says, man, I got more stuff you just haven't seen yet. And I said, I'll tell you what. I said, get all your stuff together that you want to get rid of. Give me a call. I said, you got my number now. Give me a call and let me know you got it all together, and I'll come by and see what I want. He said, that's a good deal. He says, you'll be the first person. I said, that'll work for me. Then he proceeded to tell me, I have a fetish about tools. I'm a tool nut. I love tools of all sorts. Old, new, unique, of different kinds of tools. And he proceeds to tell me that his uncle gave him a whole bunch of tools too when he passed away. I looked at the guy. I figure he's a little younger than I am. So his uncle's got to be on the older side. So I'm sure his uncle probably left him some older collectible tools, or I won't call them collectible, more like antique tools or unique tools. So hopefully he'll have that all together. And I can spend some money on that. Yeah, the wife ain't gonna like that one too much. And you notice you don't hear me talk about my wife going camping. I had a pop-up. We camped in it. It wasn't the greatest trip because the kids came along. And I'm not blaming it on the kids, The kids are kids. They could be a pain in the ass. Anybody's got kids, they'll agree with me. If you think your kid is the perfect princess, prince, whatever, you're full of fucking shit. Okay? All kids have their moments. I wouldn't trade mine for the world, don't get me wrong, but all kids have their moments. And her son went, my daughter went, me and her went, and my pop-up that I picked up. And we hated it. Well, we didn't hate it. It was miserable. It was a miserable time, because of the kids. And we talked about next time we go, we'll go without kids. Well, years down the road, I wound up buying a 42-foot fifth wheel camper. And this was the cream of the crop back then. It had every bell and whistle you could think of, short of a dishwasher. It had a washer and dryer. It had the full-size refrigerator. It had everything except for a dishwasher. and it was a Jayco. And I bought that, and we traveled a couple states in that, and it really wasn't great again because of the kids. Now we're back home in Tennessee, and I got rid of the camper, and I kind of want to go back further to my roots with a tent, but yet be up off the ground. That's why I decided to do this. Now, whether she goes or not, I don't know. But my baby girl right there, she'll go with me, because she'll go anywhere I go. And with that being said, you are completely up to date. Kind of got a little bit of my personal life. When I go a little bit further on this Jeep, I will try my darndest. I'm not going to make no promises, but I will try my darndest to have this camera nearby to record it. Not too much more I'm going to do to this other than do a tune up on it. There's no sense in me recording that. The exhaust, I don't know if I'm going to do it or if I'm just going to take it somewhere and have it done. I'll probably just take it somewhere and have it done and be done with it. This way I ain't got to fool with it. And it's easier when you're up on a lift doing it instead of on your back doing it. Damn. Choke on another cigarette. Smoking's better for y'all. Don't smoke. And hopefully maybe I'll have tires by then. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting on my income tax money. Y'all are probably laughing. What? It's June. Almost the end of June. And you don't have your income tax money? No, because my dumb ass filed a day or two late. So they're sitting on the shit. And I'm not getting much back, but I'm getting enough to get me 4 tires. And I'll use one of the 2 back tires back here for a spare, because both of these actually hold air. 2 in the front, they kind of go down. Of course, that one there's chunk of rubber is missing, and 2 in the front are worse on the dry rot too. So I'll use probably this one here on the driver's side. I think is the best shape out of the 4, and I'll use that as my spare. This way I got the same full size spare as what I'm fixing to put on the Jeep. And hopefully maybe what I'll do is break out that camera and I'll film that, doing that top, and y'all might probably laugh because, like I said, I've never ever worked fiberglass before, never even really seen it done other than on YouTube a couple of times. So I'll have to do my homework on YouTube and then give it a go. So worst case scenario, just grind it all off, right? So now that you're all caught up, I'm going to let you go, and hopefully I can find me a video editing program that I can use, because I'm illiterate when it comes to shit like that, and I come across one or two and I experiment with it. I lose all the talking. When I talk on there, I lose the volume. There's no volume. And I don't know what the hell happened. And when I'm trying to cut out a section out of that video, it never cuts it out. So I don't know if it's the program that I'm using or if it's me or a combination of both. I probably put it more towards me than anything else, because like I said, I'm illiterate to the shit. So, you know, maybe I can find a video editing thing and cut some of this stuff out, because I know I babble on. But with that being said, I hope y'all have a great Father's Day. And for all you people out there that got dads still alive, go up to them and hug them. I'll see y'all later.